So one thing we wanted to do was see how this lifts when we apply lifting medium to it. So this was the one where we had the lifting medium applied before we put any paint down. So let's go ahead and see how well things lift. So I might want to get some tape and do some lifting that way as well. So I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to get a ragged edge. Maybe this will be a mountain range or something. But let's do it on the both sides so that we can see how well it works on light colors as well as potentially staining colors and lifting colors. So this tends to be a lifting color, the cobalt violet, and this tends to be a staining color. So I'm going to do both on that. What I'm going to do is use this as my guide, so I'm going to use tape. Get all my stuff out of the way once again. Get my dabbing cloth. This is a real messy lesson. Oh, I don't know what I did with my brush. Just had it. Put it away. I'll use this one until I find it. There's a lot of stuff here that could potentially get in the way. Oh, there it is. It's in my water, which I hardly ever do. Okay, so we got our masking tape, just regular old masking tape, and I've got a nice straight line on one side, so I'm gonna just put the water down, let it cook on both sides. I can go over the tape a little bit. So that's on the yellow side. Now I'm going to do it without any guide, and we're going to see with paper towel how well this lifts up. So let it cook there for a minute. I didn't get a very good. So I'm going to push down and lift up, and you can see that lifts off quite nicely. This one I have on both sides of the tape. So if I lift and get a soft edge on one side and a hard edge on the other, and that does lift off quite nicely. So I believe my raw sienna light is a little staining. So look at how well we can go back to white if we prepare our paper with lifting medium ahead of time. So that's lovely. Let's go ahead and wipe up over here. So on this side we'll have a hard edge. Make sure you get a good seal on that tape. Otherwise the water will seep underneath there. And what's nice is you really don't need to let it dry. You can just lift it right off. So that's where it seeped underneath. So you can get nice light effects that way. So maybe that's a mountain range. Cool. I really like that lifting medium. I might have to do that more often so I can get back to my whites better. Very nice little lifting patterns. This was because I didn't have my good seal on my tape. That's what happens. So what happens if we splatter now just water? Let's put that around the bubble wrap. Put some over here. Let that cook for a minute. Just water. It's a nice and dry surface. Got lifting medium preparation underneath. You just have to remember to prepare your paper beforehand. Okay, so I'm letting it cook just a minute. I'm going to try to just push up, not scrub, but push up. I can get a really nice lift. On the yellow it won't show up, there's not as much contrast. I put a bigger circle. Okay, so I can lift back pretty far. I can get a real distinct lift back if I prepare my paper with lifting medium ahead of time, especially with staining pigment. Woohoo! I might have to do that for every painting, but it doesn't seem to affect the way the paper acts with the paper, because the paint still seems to flow on very similarly to what it does on paper that isn't treated ahead of time. I have to get more of that. Alright, so that's the last of our little effects.